So if you're like me, I was running Cinnamon desktop before this, so I never needed to run Flatpaks inside of terminal. I don't know why you would run a Flatpak inside of a terminal unless you hate yourself. But anyways, I just downloaded this Flatpak just to kind of show it as an example because I've already set this up for all my other Flatpaks and AppImages. But this is the command that you would normally throw in your terminal in order to run your Flatpak. And this is going to give us a hint on how we're supposed to do this. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this and I'm going to go ahead and run it in terminal so that you can, see what it looks like. So when I execute that, bam, it starts the program. Yay, awesome. I'm going to go ahead and quit out of that. Let's quit out of that too. And again, that's going to give us a hint on how to do this. So the first thing that we want to do just to get everything set up is basically the first thing is we want to be able to just simply type in the name of this Tor Hunt in our terminal and it runs. That's kind of the first thing. I don't want to have to type in Flatpak run and then this whole name here. Like, I don't want to have to do that. I just want to type in Tor Hunt and it does it. So that's the first step. The second step is then we want to make sure that it's going to work with the default spawn or search function that's in Qtile, which is absolutely awful in my opinion, but we want it to work in there. These are like the bare minimums. And then lastly, I'll show you how to, set it up in the Qtile config if you want to set up a key binding for it. At least how I did it. Okay, so let's first of all get started with our bash RC because that's the first thing that we're going to have to edit. So you can do this in the GUI if you want, or you can do this in a terminal or Emacs or whatever you want. But it's one line. It's really, really easy. So for me, it's line 6. And this is what you're going to put in here. Is that right there? Export your all caps path equals, and then the path that you want bash to look into, which we want it to look into .local/bin. And apparently this is good housekeeping anyways. So yeah, I'm happy it's here. I think it's going to be awesome. So basically, the way that I understand it is now when you're typing something in, bash is going to be looking in this location in addition to all of the other areas that it looks for stuff, basically. That's the way that I understand it. So yeah, and I'm going to show you why that's relevant in a few minutes here. But that's the first step. So go ahead and put that into your bash RC, use vim or write it in however you want. Just do that. Okay, so after we've done that, now what we want to do is we want to look at the location of this right here. Because this is ultimately the application that's going to be like, or this name here, this file right here is what's going to be actually starting the program or executing the program. So we want to see where that file is. Now Flatpak will already do the work for you, and you can just say, hey Flatpak, run this thing, and Flatpak will look for it. Already knows where it's at. But anyways, there's usually a default place where Flatpaks are stored. So that's where we're going to go to right now. So we're going to go to our base directory, and we're going to go to var. It's going to be var, not .var. Var is in your base directory. And then we're going to go to lib. I've already done this like several times, so it already remembers. We're going to go to Flatpak. And you'll notice all the other programs and stuff in here. So we're going to go to Flatpak, and then we're going to go to app. This is going to show all of our apps. Bam. Now we can see all of my apps that I have downloaded, Flatpak apps specifically. So I've already done all the others, or most of them, I think. So we're gonna try doing this, this top one here, the Tor Hunt one, which I have not tried yet. I just downloaded it. Okay, so we're gonna click on that. Now, that was obviously a directory. That was not a file, so that's not what we need. We want to find the file, which is also called com techpit, ktechpit, Tor Hunt. So we're going to go to current, and to my understanding, it looks like all Flatpaks are kind of laid out this way. So go to current, I go to active, go to export, bin, and then here we go. We now have the file. So now what we're going to do is we're going to copy this file path. Because what we're going to do is we are going to create a symbolic link. Now, we don't want to put this Flatpak, inside of the .local bin necessarily, because every single time we download a Flatpak, it's going to put it in this area, and we want to keep it all organized. Instead, we're going to create a symbolic link, which when bash looks in .local bin, it's going to see the various files in there, and there's going to be lots of symbolic files. And if it happens to find a relevant symbolic file, or symbolic link, that symbolic link is going to say, "Oh, you're looking for me? Well, here's the actual location of it." And then so bash knows exactly where to look for it. So that's kind of the next step that we're going to do. So for that, I'm going to go to a normal terminal because I only have eShell and Emacs and it doesn't work properly. So hopefully you can see that. Okay. Alright, it's really, really easy, and symbolic links are pretty cool too. So we're going to type in ln, I think that's line, and then flag s for symbolic. And then let me see if it'll let me. Okay. So we paste that link in. Oops. Oh my gosh, I'm like trying to like do Vim stuff. Okay, so bin, and now we just need to type in the file name, which was I think it was ktech, can't remember. What was it? ktechpit Tor Hunt. Okay. Tor Hunt. Okay. So that's it there. So now what we're going to do, so we're saying we want to make a symbolic link. This is the location of the real deal, all of the app data. And then here's where we want to put the symbolic link. We want to put the symbolic link in home, user, and then .local / bin. That's where we want to put the symbolic link, and we're about to see what that looks like. Now, if you do it correctly, then it won't say anything after I execute this. So great. Probably went okay. So let's go back here and go back to Emacs here, and then we can actually exit out of all this. Let's go to home, tie, and then where do we want to go to? We want to go to .local bin. Oh, now here it is, right here. See? So like these are color coded, so you can tell which ones are symbolic links. I've already done some of these, right? So for example, this top one here, this is an app image. So I put all of my app images in my applications directory, and so I didn't have to move that data over into local bin. I just simply made a symbolic link. So this is the actual location, and then I place the symbolic link in .local bin. Well, anyways, this is what we just did for Tor Hunt. Last thing that I'm going to do, I mean, I think it's a good idea, is we're going to rename this file. So we want to rename this one here, and we're going to rename this to simply Tor Hunt. And that should work. Bam. So now it's going to be much easier. Great. So now, if we did this right, I can press Mod key R, Windows key R for me. That'll bring up that crappy search thing that's in Qtile, and I should be able to type in Tor Hunt. Bam. It pops up. So that's huge. I should also be able to, I'm kind of curious. I wonder if it'll let me do it in here. Should. Yep, so it works in terminal too. Great. Okay, so now the last step that we have to do is we're going to go to our .config. This is where our Qtile config is hiding. Well, let's go to Qtile. All right. And then we want to go to our config.py. And now we're at the config. So now how I've done this, and I think this is how DistroTube does it, is you're going to define these. So you get to name this whatever you want. I just did my, it's just what I did, my beeper, my Steam link, yada yada yada. So this can be named whatever you want, but what it needs to equal exactly what the file name is. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So whatever I have to type into terminal in order for it to execute is what I need to type in, and that's why we changed those. That's why we changed those symbolic links to, let's see, .local. I'm about to show you. That's why we changed these to like really easy and not like this crazy like markdown .obsidian, because that's what I'd have to type into terminal in order to execute the command. So just make it really easy. And then you'll put exactly what it is in here. Okay, so let's go ahead and, well, I don't really want to do this for this Tor Hunt one, but we'll just assume that it's this beeper one. So my beeper, this is exactly what I have to type into terminal in order to execute it. And then we're going to go down to, one of them is already done for us right here. So mod key enter or return is going to launch a terminal. This one is just default Qtile. And then after that, I added most of these all the way down to M. So you would just type it in exactly like this. And there's tons of videos on this part. And you want it to lazy spawn whatever you defined that command as. So my browser, which happens to be Florp, my Emacs, which happens to be Doom, my Lutris, which is self-explanatory, Steam Link, beeper, and then if I wanted to do this Tor Hunt one. But anyways, that's how you do that. You can do it with AppImages as well. I already showed you kind of how to do that. So again, the AppImages one is, as an example, this beeper is an app image, and I think Obsidian's actually a Flatpak, never mind. But yeah, the process is the same. You have to find where the app lives, and then you create the symbolic link and just put it in .local bin. Change the name to something really easy, like to its true name that you would type in, and then you're gold after that. It'll work in terminal, it'll work in the lazy spawn, and then you can start key binding it out in Qtile. Anyways, I hope that was helpful. And yeah, if you have any questions or recommendations on how to make this better for other people, then, absolutely, because this is just kind of like what I learned from scraping information online. So, anyways, have a nice one.